You know that feeling, right? You're stuck somewhere between a super dense academic textbook and one of those code-along tutorials for AI that just feels, well, kind of shallow. If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to break down an educational strategy from a channel called Staiblocks that's designed to fix that exact problem, focusing on building a deep, intuitive understanding. I mean, we've all been there. You're staring at this page of just insane formulas and super abstract theory, and you're thinking, okay, but how does this actually help me build something? It feels like this giant canyon between the theory and the real-world practice. And hey, that gap, it's not your fault. It's really a problem with how this stuff is often taught. On one side, you've got these super dense courses that feel totally disconnected from anything real, and on the other, you've got these quick tutorials that just show you what to type, but you're left with no clue why you're typing it. It's just so frustrating. It really breaks down into two different paths, doesn't it? You've got the superficial learning path. Yeah, it feels faster, but you're basically just using tools without really getting why they work. Then there's the foundational path. This is about digging deep, really mastering the principles. Think of it like this. Are you just following a recipe, or are you learning to be a chef who can create their own dishes? Okay, so how do you get on that foundational path? Well, that's exactly the problem a channel called Staiblocks set out to solve. They literally see themselves as the bridge to that deeper understanding, and their mission couldn't be clearer. Their whole goal is to connect these two worlds that often feel so far apart, academia and industry. They take all that tough, theoretical stuff from the academic side and translate it into skills you can actually use to solve problems in the real world. The idea is to help you become someone who's not just good at doing things, but someone who truly knows what they're doing. And this quote, it just nails their whole philosophy. We don't just code, we teach why we code. See, it's not just about getting some code to run. It's about empowering you to understand the logic, the math, the actual reasoning behind every single line you write. Now, because of this approach, their content isn't for just anyone looking for a quick fix. Nope. It's really designed for the people who are genuinely curious. You know, the serious students, the data engineers who really want to know what's going on under the hood of the tools they use every day. So, how do they actually do it? How do they deliver on this promise? Well, their whole curriculum is built on what they call the 3 pillars of knowledge. Let's break them down. Okay, so the 3 pillars are AI and machine learning, data science, and then the big one that holds it all together, foundational mathematics. And this isn't just a random list of subjects. It's a carefully designed stack meant to build your understanding from the ground up, piece by piece. First up, in the AI and machine learning pillar, the big focus is on intuition. It's about getting you past just importing a library and hitting run. The goal is for you to actually understand what those formulas inside the algorithms are doing, so you get the magic that's happening behind the curtain. Then for data science, it's all about the full journey. We're not just talking about building cool models. We're talking about the messy, gritty part, cleaning the data, and maybe most importantly, learning the art of finding the story that's hidden inside all those numbers. And finally, we get to the foundation, the bedrock, math. They call it the language of AI, which is such a perfect way to put it. This is where you learn why linear algebra is literally the backbone of deep learning, and how calculus acts like the engine that makes your models learn and improve. All right, so that's the what, the 3 pillars. But the how they teach it is maybe even more important. They have this really specific, structured learning path, a unique way of teaching that's designed to make it all just click. It's basically a 4-step journey. And notice, you don't just jump straight into coding. First, you start with one foundational concept. Step 2, you build an intuition for the theory behind it. Then, and only then, you connect it to a real-world application. The key is that every lesson builds on the one before it, so you're always moving forward on a clear, logical path. And to make sure all this content is top-notch and delivered fast, they use some pretty cool modern tools. They actually develop their material using things like LLM notebooks, which is a kind of AI-assisted tool. This helps them ensure everything is scientifically accurate and lets them create content way faster. And what that means for you, the learner, is that you get content that's not only deep, but also super current. So when you put this all together, it's more than just a teaching method. It's really an invitation to completely transform your role in the AI world. It's about moving beyond just learning and stepping into true mastery. And I gotta say, I love this next quote. It just completely reframes the whole goal. It's a challenge. To go from just being a consumer of AI education, passively watching tutorials, to becoming a true understander and ultimately a creator. So, if that idea resonates with you, if building that kind of deep, intuitive understanding sounds like what you've been looking for, well, the call to action is pretty simple. It's about taking that next step on your own journey from just consuming information to actually creating with it. And that kind of leaves us with one final question for you to think about. What's that one concept, that one really tricky thing in AI or data science that you've always wished someone would just break down for you in a simple, intuitive way? Is it backpropagation? Or maybe something like eigenvector centrality? What's your personal mountain to climb? Definitely something to chew on.